So in this sprout, I have moved my tomatoes that I started in here. I've moved them out into another unit, and I'll show you that a little bit later in the video. So now I have some peppers and other things going on in here. Let me get my list out. So I got, let me see how this goes. Okay. Well, we'll start in the back. Patio snacker, cucumber, right here. Space Master cucumber, globe basil, orange bell. Those are my seeds from 2013 that I saved, and they were my best producer last year, so of course I had to start some more of those. And then a red bell and a red bell from peppers that I got I don't know, maybe a month ago, and I saved the seeds. They were really good. Here is a chocolate habanero, candy cane pepper, then paprika, a jalapeno poblano, and then here is a paprika, Pippin's Golden Honey, and another poblano. So I got peppers going, basil, and cucumbers in this, and they were all started on May 1st. And let me see if I can raise it up a little bit and show you some of this stuff is already germinated. I wasn't expecting to see that. Let me get this guy. You guys know I'm always moving my little succulents around. So it looks like my Space Master cucumbers have already sprouted, as has my patio snacker F1 cucumber. Nothing from the peppers yet, but I'm happy with that. I will take it. I will definitely take it. What's going on with this basil? Oh, the basil has the globe basil. I'm excited about that. It's small and it's round. It's bushy. And then none of the peppers have germinated yet, but that's to be expected. You know, peppers are a slow germinator. So that's what's going on in this unit for now. And like I said, the tomatoes that I started in here, I have moved to a different unit, and you'll see those later in the video. I trimmed this this tomato bag a lot, and honest to goodness, within like a week, that one tomato went super ripe. So there's my first tomato. I'm gonna be eating that tonight. Dun, 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 tonight. Nothing else is coming in on it, and that's fine with me. I will happily just eat that one. I mean, I waited 6 long damn months for that thing to come about. Oh man. In this Aerogarden, I have some tomato starts and my coleus that has been in here since last winter. Well, last fall really. I took that cutting and I kept it in here so I would have it for next year because I couldn't find coleus seeds at the time, and so I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get one just like this. And since then I've taken I don't know how many cuttings off of this thing. I actually don't even have enough containers for as many cuttings as I have going around here, but my patio will be full of them. At any rate, I also have in here some tomato babies. On this right hand corner I have a lemon drop, and then behind that is a white tomaso, In the center, right next to that white tomato, is a black cherry. And then in the front left, that's a mushroom basket. And in the back left, that is a sunrise sauce. It's about time for me to go ahead and pot those to the styrofoam cups that I use. I use the really large ones. I think they're like 18 ounces, I want to say. So I'll just tear off some of the bottom leaves so that I can put them down deep into the cup. And then that way, whenever I go to put them in to containers, they'll have some pretty extensive root systems. But they're looking awesome. So those are some of my summer varieties. They're not ready to go out anytime soon. I'm thinking maybe mid to late April at best. So they got a ways to go. But they're looking good thus far. And so I'm going to pull those. And I have one or two things that I think I want to move into this machine that can handle the height that this light needs to be at to keep my coleus. So I'm going to be doing that hopefully this weekend, moving those out and moving the tomatoes out and moving those other plants in, but we will see. I got a lot on my table this weekend. But the color on that coleus just blows my mind. I just love it. It's beautiful. So over in this unit, I have my two orange hat tomatoes. They are starting to do another flush, but what I've been doing is I have been taking cuttings from it and this plant as well because I want to plant those into the dollar store stackable planters that they have. I think that would turn out really nicely. Work out very well for those containers. So I have a couple of them started right here and just starting them in water, and it's working very well. You can see that. Okay, and then have a couple babies tomatoes in there. This is a Beta Lux. And there's another one back here. I don't know what kind that is, but that's a tomato seedling. And then also using this light as some sage seedlings that I started. So yeah, doing good there. And then, like I said, these are my cuttings from the orange hat so far. I still have more plant to cut off. You can see back there it's trailing fairly far. So as soon as those tomatoes turn, I will go ahead and take a couple more cuttings from that. And then over here is the mini bell, which is nothing mini. There's nothing mini about it. It is still going crazy. It has... Again, this is the unit that doesn't cut off and the light doesn't shut off either. So, you know, this plant is just constantly under light. And I'm guessing that's why it's just this massive. I mean, it's growing through the grates in my shelving unit. It's crazy. And it's producing. I'm constantly eating tomatoes off of it. I had about 5 today. And then I had maybe 5 or 6 the day before that I put on my salad that I first harvested. My first harvest of the spring outdoor 2021. It was they were very, very good. I like to let them ripen on the vine. At any rate, I've been taking cuttings from this plant as well, and I mean, you can't tell, but also in here are a couple of tomatoes. And this one here is a Dr. Witch's Yellow. I'm going to be pulling that out. He's pretty tall, and I don't want him to get too caught up in the leaves with this white tomasol. And then down here is a orange accordion. Also in here is one little baby dill. So yeah, everything over here is doing really, really good. Pleased with the production I'm getting out of these units. And I'm excited for all my cuttings that I'm taking. That'll give me a head start on, oh, look at these. Huh. Look at that. It's a, what do they call that? It was a fused blossom. I forget the word, but there's a word for it. Nice. I have to remember because I'll be coming over here and plucking that off and eating it. Cool. Anyways, yeah, these are doing really good. And I will continue to take cuttings from them. And then those cuttings will go into my Dollar Tree stackable planters whenever I put those out in the summertime. These units might look a little different to you. Still got the kohlrabi going, growing very quickly. Look how big they are since the last time. And that one's not even the biggest. Look at this guy. He's like huge compared to what he was. That is a big one. This thing is going to be harvestable in no time if it keeps growing like this. But before I had a couple tomato starts in there, and those are gone. I also had a third kohlrabi in there, but it was getting completely shaded out, as were the tomatoes. So I moved those, so they are not in there. But those two kohlrabi are doing fantastic, as you can see. Then in this unit, I have tomato seedling. This is a black cherry, and these were different basils that I started that I don't know if they're gonna do with what I need them to do, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm not pulling them yet, but it's not looking good. I got some lime basil here, lemon basil here, another lemon basil back here. That one did, the two lemon basils did germinate, but they're way down in the pod. So I don't know, they might mold before they get to the point that they poke out of the pod. So keeping my fingers crossed. And then here is the stock plant that I started. It's finally starting to make some moves. I mean, this thing has been like a month old and it stayed the same size forever. So I might get one stock plant, it looks like. So that's exciting. And that's all that's going on in this unit. I don't know if you remember this beast, but here's my broccoli plants. That's 3 broccoli plants, and they are the Rapa di Nova Tina, I think. Broccoli di Rapa Nova Tina, something like that. I was really excited to see that the broccoli head is forming. Can you see it in there? They're not going to be big, huge heads like you see on regular broccoli. These are quick varieties, so it's not going to form that huge head like you think. But I'm so excited, and only the one is at that stage at this point. The other two are lagging quite a bit behind, and I think that's because this plant is stealing all of the light. And the other ones are just being, kind of pushed out there. So once this one gets harvested, I think one or the other of the other two will then get better light and start getting to that point. So, but that's exciting, growing broccoli in an aero garden. Um, I'm hoping to harvest some of the leaves tomorrow. I did that a few weeks ago and it worked out well. I froze some and then I had some in soup and it was great in soup. So um, I was thinking about throwing some in some ramen. That would be good. I haven't tried the stuff that I froze to see how the texture is affected. Um, because as you can see, I have more leaves, fresh leaves than I know what to do with at this point. So, you know, I don't need to check on, pull out those frozen greens just yet. I hope though that the texture's not too funky. Um, they're a pretty thick leaf, so I feel like they'll hold up to freezing very well. They're pretty sturdy, but that remains to be seen. Again, I haven't tried it yet, but yeah, check out that stalk, you guys. It's bigger than my thumb. Beautiful, beautiful plant. I will definitely do this again, but I will do it with one broccoli at a time. um, yeah, definitely just do one broccoli at a time because this is just too much. But it is gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. Over in this unit, I have those two cuttings from the Vertical tomato. I was calling it where Rokawai for the longest time, and then I finally found out how to pronounce it correctly. I think is it Scandinavian, I want to say? I forget. But anyways, it's pronounced Vertical. Anyways, so I got my tomato here. I think that's probably as big as it's gonna get. I recently cut off a whole limb. I mean, it was growing about halfway to the floor at that point. I'm like, good grief, this thing is out of control. And then this cutting, that's just one plant, but look at, it's all up here. And then it goes, you see down there, over, and up, way over there. This plant is ridiculous. So I'm going to be cutting this back again some more. I'm trying to take some cuttings from this because this is supposed to be an early variety and a determinate variety at that. So I was thinking, well, if I can root it, I can go ahead and stick it outside now because I got my other ones out there and they're doing just fine. I obviously won't cut the one that has this tomato on it, but this one doesn't have a tomato on it yet. But yeah, wow. I was not expecting that to happen. Moving on, I have a succulent in here and some mini petunias that aren't germinating yet. I have a pink jazz tomato seedling back there and a tigerella tomato seedling here. Both of those are summer tomatoes. Ideally, I would like to move them out of this machine because I have the light raised so high, but we'll see what happens. And then over here is a dill, which is looking fantastic, right? Like the dill looks awesome. So I today took a couple of clippings from it, and I'm going to try to propagate it. And that's how I'm going to get my plants for it to be put outside, my dill plants at least. And then I did the same thing with this Genovese basil back here, well, right here. I took cuttings from it. And here, I'm just doing them in water. And lastly, I have a cardinal basil coming up. Really looking forward to that one. That one has a big purple flower on it. It's so pretty. All right, in this new unit um, I have my tomato, some of my summer tomato seedlings, and these are going to stay in here for a little bit, you know, a couple, maybe even a whole month, month and a half, 2 months, I don't know. We'll see. But I got a whole bunch of different ones going on in here. So starting here, white tomasol, sunrise sauce, pink dwarf, Niagoose, pink jazz, lemon drop. Back here, orange accordion, mushroom basket, Dr. Witchy's, green grape in the back left corner. In the back middle is the sweetheart, and then the back right is a bush Goliath. Alright guys, and in this last unit I have up in the front here, this is some cutting celery. This is going to be getting moved out this week. It's good to go. And then in the back here, I'm not sure what this is. I think it's a watermelon. I don't know. I don't know what that is. My only thing about it being a watermelon is I don't know why I would start one so early, but you know, who knows with me. And then next to it there, I have some cardinal basil right there. Some thyme going on here. This is that third kohlrabi that I moved from the other unit. This is a watermelon. It's not looking too good. The roots look nice, but the plant itself, the light is too strong on it, I think. And then here I got some mini petunias that I'm trying to get going. So, yeah. I will be moving, like I said, I'll be moving the cutting celery out, and I will be moving this plant back here out, whatever it is. Those will be going outside, and that'll be opening up a little bit of space in this unit for some new stuff to go in. I have my peppers started, as you saw, so now my next round of starts is going to be flowers. I definitely want to do some sunflowers, and I'm already taking cuttings from my geranium from last year that I overwintered. And so hopefully I'll have those to go. I'll get some sunflowers going, and keep working on my herbs, and that's about it. That's about it. I still got a long ways to go before I, get everything together for the patio garden. But I would say that I'm about halfway there, and so I'm pretty pleased with my progress so far. All right.